Once again. Again. Once again. Once again. Again. Once again.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't control anything here.
I don't. I'm not the boss of this here.
Nobody is.
Nobody. That's kind of the best part about this, is that we're just kind of winging most of it, right? Like, isn't that the Super GG Radio way?
No.
No?
Why? That's a terrible plug too. Just throw in the Super GG. I guess if you think about it, did we even say Super GG Radio last episode? Do people know what they are listening to?
I mean, that's kind of
how
this
kids.
That's how this episode's starting. Your kids watch this now?
Well, they listen to it.
That's not good.
No.
Watch.
Elspeth and Joe, I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, Getty,
Please don't explain anything that I talk about on this podcast to them. I'd rather that they live in mystery.
Oh no, they asked me what we're talking about, and I don't know. That was last week.
It's a
Yeah.
good coverall.
post-recording, I don't remember a lot of what we've talked about. That's how it goes.
Yep.
Guys, that's a problem. That's why so many of the episodes are like, we never discussed that. And I'm like, yes, we for sure did.
You know, that's actually pretty common for a lot of podcasters. Like, I've talked to them, a lot of people, different people who record podcasts, and they're like, I don't remember what I talked about.
Well,
Supposed to?
the podcasts that you listen to are like 6 hours long.
Ooh,
Not
ain't
always.
nobody got time for that.
Nobody's
always.
got- Alex has time for that. Who has time for it? Not us. I don't even know what we're doing this week. Did anybody figure it out?
We're recording a podcast, I'm told.
Who told you that?
The internet and our calendars. You're not on the Google Calendar, Getty.
I know I'm not. Should I be? What is entailed in being on the Google Calendar? Like I have to add stuff to it, or it's just there, it exists?
You live by it.
No, I don't. Nobody puts Getty in a corner.
No, I have a question. Did anybody see the Minecraft movie?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
Given-
do not believe that I am the target audience.
Fans of Jack Black? Me either.
That is not what I was referring to.
I'm not a fan of Jack Black anymore. Well,
Well-
not like there's anything wrong with him per se.
You know what's wild? He hosted SNL 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did
Yes.
he?
I think it
I
was
didn't-
2 weeks ago,
I
right?
didn't see the episode yet.
And he was like, in his monologue, he mentions that it's the first time that he's been back in, golly, I think 15 years. 15 years. And then I had to think back, like, yeah, I haven't seen too much that I'm in love with from him since, like, let's be honest, School of Rock.
School of Rock was fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that movie. Was it with John Cusack? That was pretty all right.
John Cusack. Hold on.
Oh,
The Holiday? Is it
No.
The Holiday?
No.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm letting you guys have fun with this.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm not
Google
having
it.
fun with this. Don't.
High Fidelity.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Don't
I never
Google it,
saw
I
that
know the
movie.
answer.
So
What? Really?
Yeah.
It's really good. It's very, very entertaining. They
Alex,
made it
there's
a show.
Two things you should know.
Yes.
I don't watch movies that are serious. I don't read nonfiction books. Only fiction. That's who I am.
High Fidelity was definitely not serious.
You sure?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
well,
goes through ranking, talking about things that are happening in his life in top 10 lists, like you would do for a DJ show. These are the top 10 breakups in my life.
That sounds serious.
It's a self-reflection in a comedic way.
Yeah.
Self-reflection. Don't do that either.
Oh,
Jack
okay.
Black
Not
was pretty
time for
good, though.
that.
Getty, we spent time at C2E2 this weekend.
That's true. Should we explain what C2E2 is for the fans?
Comic-Con Entertainment Expo.
Do you want to try again? Because that's definitely not what it stands for.
Is it not?
It is not.
What does it stand for?
Chicago Comic Entertainment Expo.
Oh. Mine was better. Mine was better.
So Chicago is in the word. Yes, as residents of the Chicagoland area, both Alex and I attended, and I did not get to see him on Sunday because I was riding the line.
The line ride.
Yeah.
How was the line ride? How was John Boyega? I bet you he smelled good.
That's
You just
that's
get up there.
problematic right there.
Gotta get up there and just like, let me smell.
Yeah,
these
just
You
give
hands.
cannot sniff him. That's
You
for
give
sure.
no, you give him a sniff. Every
Now-
celebrity, you give him a sniff.
Nope.
No.
That's what I was asking. What did Paul Rudd smell like?
Also didn't smell him.
I think I asked Lisa. I think she did have an answer.
Really?
She might have. It's Paul
I don't
Rudd.
know.
You got to know what he smells like.
No, the picture turned out pretty well. But-
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing like flipping off everybody to really spice up a picture.
Now, let's talk about that. Where did, Getty, whenever you meet these celebrities, you will have them give the bird.
Okay.
Where did that start?
I was told at a, grade school level that I have a very good middle finger. So I was
Okay.
like, hey, why not just highlight one of my best features? And that's how it came about.
Okay, so you were trying to highlight your middle finger.
I was trying to highlight how excellent I am at giving the middle finger.
Okay,
They're
and it's a solid
very,
one.
yeah, they're very intense poses. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no question that you do have a solid middle finger. Now, how many? Like, do you have a count? How many celebrities? Because I've seen some of the photos, but you don't have every photo. Like, not all of your photos are framed. Is that correct?
All the ones that I have, yes, that is correct.
Okay. So, there has been one celebrity, right, that said no.
There was one, well, okay. There's one celebrity that I got to be in the picture for. There was another one that
Mhm.
Lisa did take a picture with who also declined.
Who were these celebrities, so we could all shame them?
Sure, please do. Do you want me to give you their actual names, or should we refer to them in the Marvel universe so that nobody's actually being victimized and I don't have to worry about anybody coming to my house and yelling at me from
Sure.
Disney?
Go
So-
for the Marvel universe.
Loki and Captain Marvel, both of them declined to
Wow.
flip off the camera.
Loki is a surprise to me.
Why?
He seems like he'd be cool with a finger. He
No.
seems like he would be somebody to give the finger.
He's too nice. As a real person.
But like Paul Rudd was pretty all about it.
Paul Rudd is the most like even keel person that there is. Have you, even when you see him in movies being upset, he's not that upset.
No,
He just
he's
kind of has like one speed.
It kind of reminds me of Pedro Pascal, the new hotness right now. But he seems like he's always in a pretty good mood.
Did you end up buying one of those daddy bags from
Oh yeah.
C2E2?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
They have
Pedro
picture-
Pascal.
Well, they have other celebrities as well, but yes. Continue.
Oh, I was going to say that, Alec, you should definitely check out some Pedro Pascal on Saturday Night Live. There was a daddy sketch that he did in the last couple of years.
Yep,
That was, it's exactly what you would expect. Just check it out.
when he's the teacher, right?
Yes.
I'll send you the link, Alec.
Okay.
But nonetheless, there's a company at C2E2 that sells tote bags and pillowcases of dreamy celebrity men, and there is one of Pedro Pascal. And he said, of course, I will hold your stuff, girl.
Very affirming. Very, very nice of him.
Yeah, they got Robert Pattinson from Twilight. They got a bunch of them. There's some good ones in there.
I like how it's Robert Pattinson from Twilight, not Robert Pattinson from Batman.
Name another time that you would want to be like, oh, this is a very romantic Robert Pattinson. He's done with romance in movies, man.
Yeah.
Wait, Twilight had romance?
That's the story. Did you not read any of the books or see the movies?
I've heard
You got-
stories about the movies and the books, and it's really sounds extremely lame.
Okay.
You guys
so-
should see his rom-com where he's in love with this girl and she leaves and he goes to tell his dad at his office that he doesn't care what he thinks. I'm going to go win back the girl. And then he looks out the window of his dad's office. Turns out he's in the Twin Towers and it gets hit by a plane. That's the movie. That's how the movie ends.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was the movie he was in. It's like, wow, that's a swing.
All I was gonna say is that I did read Twilight,
The first one, right?
Because-
Or all of them?
all of them except for the last one.
Why would you do that?
Why? Because I was waiting for something to happen, and it never happens, Alex.
There's a big war at
It
some point.
never happens. That's not what I'm talking about.
And then, you're waiting for it. Well, yeah, they don't like it. Doesn't really happen that way. You were waiting for the smut, man.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
what those books were.
that's what 50 Shades of Grey is for, right? It's all
Yeah, that's
Twilight
their smut.
fanfic.
But I mean, like
Vampire
that
smut.
so mainstream now. The smut is mainstream. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
it's all
Kids-
over the place.
the kids be reading crazy stuff these days.
Speaking of the crazy stuff that people be reading, Getty, can I tell you guys about?
I don't know where that's going.
Can I tell you about a game I played that had
No.
me reading?
I am gonna cut you off there. And I'm going to introduce this episode of Super GG Radio, which is session 291. I am your host, Eric Getty Gettinger, and this week I'm not allowed to talk about underpants. Oh, shoot. I just did.
Whoops.
Well, I'm going to pass it over. Or no, here. I don't even have to pass it over anymore. I'm just introducing people. What are you
Good job. You're doing a good job. Keep
All
going.
right. Also with me this week is the taste sensation, Alex Arona.
Hey, Getty. I got a lot to say about tasting and mouthfeel. Let's get into it.
I'm sure that you do. And then a gentleman who for sure owns a The Man, the Myth, the Legend shirt, Alec Parks.
I don't, but I do own The Dude Abides.
All right, we'll have to fix that. Yeah, so I guess now we can talk about some type of game. I don't know. We played a couple of I played a couple of games this week. I feel like you guys may have also played similar games.
I played some games, and I wanted to talk about the one I was about to talk about.
Okay.
I played a game called Lorelei and the Laser Eye, and I've been reading, like a lot of reading. Lorelei and the Laser Eye, for all intents and purposes, is an old school tank control. Imagine Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
Looks like it, acts like it, with tank controls, cell shading, but it's got cell shading and some trippy effects. But just Puzzle City, non-stop Puzzle City, in the most difficult possible way imaginable.
Now, Resident Evil, the original, was also Puzzle City,
No.
but this is
That
more
was-
Puzzle City.
No, that was like, I picked up a little book of easy Sudokus. No, this is, you're gonna need to learn cryptography, and you're gonna be doing algebraic equations while also digging into Greek mythology. So you better brush up on that. Oh, do you have a notebook? Better have one. And it says as soon as you start up the game, make sure you have a notebook, because this is gonna be a beefy boy.
I would like to remind you that when we started this podcast, I would take notes on all of the games that we would play until I was criticized for having paper at my desk and crinkling it. There's always a notebook next to my desk.
Oh, you should see the stack. You should see the stack. I always have stacks of Post-its.
We know about the Post-its, or at least I know about the Post-its, but you can lose those. Somebody could come up to the desk and,
I would be so
eat
upset.
it, or
I would be so. Why would they
chew
eat
on
my
it.
Post-its? So okay, so
You have a daughter and a dog. Take
That's
your
true.
pick. Somebody's going to try and eat it.
so for instance, they give you a book of. They just give you. You find a book and it's like, oh, it's math equations, and it's like math puzzles, and it's got 15 of them. And as you go through, you find shortcut doors that'll have a number on it, and you have to go to that book and solve the math puzzle.
Okay.
Okay.
Like it's like, oh, I might as well just solve this math book, because every time I find a shortcut door, I want to know the answer. So I've had to do that. You have to like take answers from one place and then flip it over to another. You'll find a book of all these movies and when they came out, but then you'll find the movie posters around, but sometimes they'll be reversed. So you have to flip the number backwards and then put it in the door to unlock the next door. It's so complicated. And what makes it harder, because of course, when it comes to some of this stuff, I'm going to use a guide. But the game,
Shame.
No.
Shame, sir.
let me tell you, Getty, let me tell you. the game randomizes the variables.
Nice.
So the guide will say, I'm going to explain to you how this puzzle kind of works, and then you kind of have to use the variables to figure it out
I am in
yourself.
love with the person who made this game.
Yeah.
Take that, Alex.
That's why I thought you would like it, because I beat it, but I had to. I couldn't use a walkthrough fully. I had to, and actually, what's funnier / worse is that using a walkthrough, this guy's like, I've beaten this game 3 times, and like one of the end puzzle goes, I don't even know how you're supposed to get it. This was combined. It was a bunch of combined guesses from people on Reddit. So for real, and it was a legit guide. It was like a full step by step, but it was like, yeah, this has been just people brute forcing it on Reddit. No one knows how this one really gets solved. Here's our best
really.
guess. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
So no, but that's like, to me, that's kind of bad. So there is a point against it, but at the same time, I'm like, this is a really, this is smarter than anything I could ever hope to accomplish. And then that's what I wrote the review on our website, and it was like, this game is smarter than I. Lorelei is smarter than I. I can't. I could not. And I did. I finished it, but boy, and the puzzles are even just like, they're even cooler than that, because there are it's very trippy in the way that like all of a sudden you're in like a David Lynch like just red room where a guy who's got a blurry censored face is gonna say, okay, we have a story here. We have facts, but we're missing some of these facts. You tell us to the best of your memory. And they give you a scene. Like you'll see a guy and he's got a gun and a girl's like, ah, and it's in front of a desk, but it's frozen in time. And I'm like, oh, okay, I just see this. And then you hit a button, it goes, are you ready? And I'm like, hold on. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. So I'm like, well,
are you ready? You've got to be ready.
So I said no. And then I just took out my phone and I'm like, click, click, like take pictures. And then I go, I guess I'm ready. And then it goes, what was underneath the chair? And I'm like, I don't know what was underneath the chair. And I pull up my phone, I look at the picture, I zoom in, I'm like, fork? There's a fork underneath the chair. And he's like, good memory. I'll let you survive. I'll let you live this time. And I was like, and there's like 15 of those, and they just kind of happen sporadically. These puzzles are just constant, like different types ongoing all the time. It's so cool how this happens. I have a whole stack of photos in my phone of just like different scenes where because the first time I didn't know what that was. I didn't know the puzzle was, because that puzzle just kind of happens upon you while you're walking. You're walking, and all of a sudden a ghost will appear and grab you and goes, okay, this is the puzzle now. And if you don't get it, you die. So I hope you saved your game, which I didn't. So I was worried about that. And then after that, I was like, okay, every time the scene came up, I'm like, I'm taking like 10 photos at different angles. And again, the question is different. So you do have to like take photos of the scene or memorize it, because I would go in there and I'd be like, holy crap, there's a key in the potted plant, but on the desk there's an equation written on the notepad, and then under the desk is a dog bone, and they'll go, what was in their left hand? I'm like, a rose? And I look at the picture, I'm like, it's a rose, and then they go, cool, you're good. And I'm like, I didn't need to know the key or the potted plant or what was underneath the desk, but apparently that will happen depending on your playthrough.
It sounded like, from the way that you described it before, it could have been any of those things.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yeah, Lorelei and the laser eye kind of blew my mind with that. I just kept getting so freaked out and confused. And the guide is, I do think if you're going to play this, at least have the guide nearby, because it is just so easy to kind of lose the thread of where you're at. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. And you, the way it works is you just have the mansion, and you have to go through and explore and unlock more and more and more of them, and of the puzzles and the rooms and the different things that'll happen. So at a certain point, you'll have 5 active puzzles. 5 to 10 active puzzles. We're like, well, there's a puzzle over here that I have not figured out yet. There's a puzzle upstairs, like I'm supposed to do something with that mirror. There's something in the basement that I also don't know. You know, like it's one of those things that like you have to kind of keep a notebook of where the loose ends are and then start chipping away. And if that doesn't work, then it's like, okay, the guide will probably at least point me in the right direction of where to go next.
Okay.
Very
So I think-
intense.
So I think that if you're looking for something like this, right now everybody is losing their mind about Blueprints, that game that we
Mhm.
played a beta test for, and everybody's talking about this nonstop. And I'm like, this kind of reminds me of that, where everyone's like, I got a notebook. I have to figure out every room. Apparently, there is a lot of more puzzles in every room in that game that you just don't understand until the game tells you, oh, by the way, this is what this means. So along those lines, Lorelei and Laser Eye, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a notebook, and I'm just sitting down and writing out equations because that's the only thing I can understand.
Yeah, okay, so to put it into perspective, Blueprints, we talked about it like a month ago, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And that one was a little bit more dependent on, you go from room to room and you're building out this whole area, but there are hints and clues that you pick up along the way. So it's in the vein, as far as what we're saying, like you're exploring or you're moving it around. I really didn't think that there were too many puzzles when we played Blueprints.
I'm told that the first 5 hours are meaningless, and then
Okay.
around the 6th hour, everything completely changes to be this super immersive puzzle.
Okay. Yeah, because it felt like we were just scratching the surface with it, while Lorelei and the Laser Eye definitely sounds like it's just much more immersive from the get-go. It drops you into this situation where are you basically fighting for your life? Yeah.
There's no enemies.
But there's a kill state if you incorrectly guess.
Only in those very specific puzzles. Any other time there isn't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, those specific ones are just the only kill state, and I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy that it's just this one thing. But yeah, it's the rest of it is there's no kill state or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's just time and how much you're willing to put into it. So I think that I really like Lorelei and Laser. I would play it again, but I would only recommend using a guide, because otherwise it's just even again, the guide writers are saying like we don't know where these numbers came from.
This is all
So-
just made up. This is insane. They made me memorize a hidden language that is
Yeah.
just numbers. Oh, now I feel
there's
more
one
inclined to play it.
there's one where it's like, oh, this word, you're supposed to put these letters together, but the letters also, when you flip them upside down, are numbers. And I'm like, oh, if I flip these letters over upside down, they make numbers. Holy crap. Like that.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah, I did
really-
that too when I was in grade school. 8008.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
today the palindrome, the back and forth throughout the whole thing?
No.
Where was it? There was one recently.
February
I was like-
25th, I think.
No.
No.
I'll have to look that up. Someone told me that recently. Anyways, I like Lorelei. I think everyone should play Lorelei. It's a fun one. And now it's on PlayStation 5. That's what the review came from for the most part, was that it's now on PlayStation 5 and plays like a dream.
Fantastic. Not exactly PlayStation 5, but hey, y'all hear about that Switch 2? Did any of you guys pre-order it?
Not yet.
Like,
I've-
I wanted to
Uh,
let me pre-order it.
I was ready. I am signed up for like 5 different email lists to, as soon as I can pre-order it, I'm getting an email.
Where are
Are
you
you?
looking?
Best Buy, GameStop, Newegg. I think
Best Buy's got
that's-
the midnight release.
Yeah.
Both-
I don't care about the midnight release so much as I care about just I want one.
What are you gonna do with it?
Play Mario Kart,
Yeah.
not hack it.
Oh, are you not gonna? Oh, you're gonna hack it. You're gonna.
He's gonna hack it.
No,
You're a
I'm
dirty
not.
bird.
No, I'm not.
You're a dirty bird. You're gonna hack it.
Just because I'm installing Emu Station on my Steam Deck right now as we speak doesn't mean I'm gonna hack my Switch 2.
Why would you do Emu Station? Why don't you do the Emu deck?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
I want Alec to play Elden Ring on Switch 2.
I'm not
And-
buying that.
It looks bad.
Yeah, it does.
I don't care. What if we buy it for you
I will play it.
There it is.
to completion?
Oh, maybe.
There's a magic
No.
system now. I think you'd be fine.
There's no maybe. That's a
Getty only accepts to completion.
I only accept to completion. That's why Joel is not here this week, because he's being punished to go
Playing
play
Sekiro.
Sekiro.
I will tell you, I'm just so close. I can
Uh-huh.
taste it.
Uh-huh.
I'm now
Uh-huh.
memorizing phase 3.
Sure.
Nice.
I'll
But-
tell you,
Getty beat it
And this-
before you did.
this
I know.
is 100% a brag.
Mhm.
I only saw phase 3 twice. The first
Oh.
time, he got me. And then it took me a while to get back to phase 3, but the second time I saw phase 3, he didn't see me coming.
Yeah, because then you got to phase 4, right?
Hmm?
I'm also glad though, like you skipped the other two bosses. I was like, okay,
I didn't even know they existed.
you didn't run into them?
No. It was like,
They're around. Did you
Okay.
get a bunch of? Did you get any of the mini bosses?
I mean, I'll tell you that I know for sure that I had 8 sets of prayer beads when I finished the game.
I'll have to look how many I have. But I mean, like, what I'm saying is, once everything popped off, did you fight any mini bosses? Because apparently they were all over the place.
Like 2?
I didn't do any.
Yeah, 2. Because I was trying to. Okay, so Joel's not here, so we can just spoil as much of this game. Well, he'll be back, but you know what I mean. We could talk more about Sekiro another time, but when night came, I went back to the tower. They told me, hey, you got to go to the secret passage. So I just went to the secret passage. I ran into one mini boss on the way there. And then after I got trounced more times than I care to admit by the last boss, I was like, oh, go do some other stuff. So I went and did a couple of other things. I came back and then, yeah. And then I put my head down and I beat him.
I didn't do anything else. I mean, do you notice that the carver is not there, right?
Yes. Well, but you also were doing other stuff in the interim. Like when we talked to you, like, oh yeah, I went and fought the 2 monkey battle. And I was like, oh, I should go figure out where that is. And it was in that cave that I found before.
Oh, okay.
Remember when I was like, oh, I found this crazy cave and I don't know what happens here. That's what happens there. It was
Oh.
the 2 monkey battle.
See, I just went like that was just like the natural progression for me was like
That was so far out of the way. I found it and then I was like, there's nothing here.
it was monkey battle, then second monkey battle.
You went and did them back to back, but it's not like you can follow him to the other location. He just disappears.
Yeah, but the other location was my next stop.
But it was like on the other side of well, you were also going off in different directions. Okay, so I guess
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, again, that's kind of the thing about an open world is that like your version and where you go is completely different than me.
Yeah. Well, I did
So-
spend a lot more time in that upper area after I rode the straw monster into heaven. I don't know.
Oh, I just bolted. I ran through that. I was like, I'm done with this.
I feel like part of this game was an acid trip. Like sometimes
Sure.
enjoyable, sometimes not enjoyable. I mean, we could probably just talk about Sekiro all night, but
Yeah.
you want to
But
take
we
a
also-
take a
we
small
also-
break here and then
Yeah.
circle back to early adopters?
Hell yeah.
All right, Joel, don't cut any of this. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Pew 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 pew.
Got that.
gonna finish it. You got your extra playtime in.
No, there's no chance I'm not going to. I'm just saying is that it definitely sucked the fun out.
Fun
I feel like
sponge.
one of us might not. One of us might not finish it.
Yes,
Who could
I
that
don't
be?
agree. I don't disagree.
Me.
All right,
I'm not going to finish it.
That's true.
you didn't even start it.
That's true.
There's no chance that you even started. Terrible, terrible. But you know what's not terrible? Our early adopter segment. And if you're not familiar with it, early adopters is where we play alphas, betas, and games that are just kooky enough that
And
I
squelchy
don't-
enough.
yeah, that it makes me not want to work in an office, but that's what I do anyway. Y'all ever hear about HR? But in this case, it stands for Human Remains
Yeah, I am HR.
on the podcast.
Yeah,
HR.
Human Remains. This is one of those pixely throwbacks where it's trying to look like a PlayStation 1 game. So the art is very like voxels and like blurry a little bit. But on the other side of it, it's very like you're exploring the world and like in this office and they're giving you tasks, but it's also just have this really demonic, uncomfortable vibe to it. Everywhere you go just has like very dim lighting and tentacle like creatures walking around. But also you're getting paperwork and you're doing to-do lists.
Man, you want to talk about dimly lit rooms.
Uh-huh.
That spider scene where you make it from one floor to another. And you don't even make it through a floor. This game is so kooky, crazy, spooky, a little bit spooky too. But
Oh, I think it like that. I was kind of worried that things were gonna go bad real fast, so I was.
they can at a couple of different things, but you're exploring this office building. You make it into like a weird tunnel, and it's like, oh, here's some road flares. Like, what am I going to do with road flares? I proceeded to then like try and walk into the next room, and it's pitch black. Spider shows up, and it's like, hey, what are you doing in here? Don't you burn any of my webs. If you do it again, I'm going to come in and I'm going to eat you.
Ooh.
What? So then Spider proceeds to walk away. Now,
Walk away, spider.
yeah, but you are then like, what am I supposed to do? So there is a light, like a room off in the distance. You can see the light. You can head over there.
Uh-huh.
But again, room is pitch black. If you run into a spider web, that spider's coming for you, boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the option is to like, but if you light a flare, do they get real mad?
The spider doesn't get mad about you lighting a flare, and it will generally help you to navigate the room, but it is not going to last long enough to get you all the way to that next room.
Mhm.
And did you play the whole demo?
No, I did not.
Alec, did you play any of the demo?
I did not play HR.
All right, tell me more
Alright.
about it though.
Yes, I will continue to tell you, but I was just gauging to see how far anybody else made it. So you can be kind of sneaky about it. If you do end up running into any of the spider webs, then the spider makes an instant beeline for you. But if you clear and make it into the room, then you're
Mhm.
fine.
Okay.
But you go from one room where you can activate a fuse box in order to turn on the elevator, and then the elevator is of course on the exact opposite side of the room from where you're at.
Of course,
so
like any good
now-
horror game.
Yeah, so now what you have to do is you can either go back, if you remember the path to get back to the original room, or you can try and make a straight line across and not get caught by the spider. That was the one time I died playing this demo.
Mhm.
Was I didn't realize, like, hey, he was much faster than I was, even running. Did not end well.
No.
I eventually figured it out. Like, I could
Like any
Oh.
real meeting with HR, it does not end well.
yeah.
No.
I could get pretty far, and then I would go back to like reset the spider, and then the webs did not reappear. So just keep that in mind if you end up going back to test this bad
tip.
boy out.
So you cheesed it a little bit.
I don't know if that's cheesing it.
I mean, if it was, then I don't apologize because I made it through the demo,
Fair.
the whole thing to completion.
To
As it were.
completion.
And what were your thoughts on it as a whole project coming together? What were your thoughts?
I enjoyed the aesthetic, the creepiness. Some of the monster designs were clever. I like when you finally get to your desk, and it was like a faux jump scare, but it was like, oh, you finally made it to your desk. You're the only one here. Go ahead and look around while this person is going to come and meet you. And then the second that you turn around, there's just like a big insectoid monster, like, oh, hey, didn't see you there. I hope I didn't scare you. I'm going to take you to the break room, and you're going to be comatose for the next stint here until we figure out what to do with you. It's like, what? All right. So there's a little bit of a hook at the end to try and pique your interest. It's a little cliche. I'll say that I would be more excited if there was more going on, or there was, maybe I didn't explore everything to the fullest, but I do like the way that the story goes in the demo. I like, again, the monster design and the puzzles, while a little difficult, mostly the spider one, they're not overtly obtuse like the other game that you ended up playing, Alex. They were all very solvable, very, like, you could figure them out without too much extra runaround.
Yep. Did you find any of the discs?
I found 2 discs in my playthrough.
I think I only found the one, but I mean, maybe I found the second one. I'm trying to remember where I left off.
Well, then there probably was a third one, because the second one is like right at the end when I got into the break room.
I like this idea. I think it's pretty fun. I definitely wishlisted it just on the vibes alone of this really dank and dark office, and everyone else is kind of just like, yep, I'm the janitor. I'm just mopping up all the blood.
He was not happy that I was bleeding everywhere.
I mean, would you be?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be. I'd be pretty upset. Man, you gotta bleed on my floors. I just waxed those.
Oh man, these walls are so squelchy. I can't
So
get him to stop
squelchy.
bleeding.
But yeah, Getty, did you wishlist this?
I did wishlist this, and I did not wishlist the other one that I played for this week.
What was the other one you played for this week, Getty?
Let's see if I can remember what it was, because I feel like I banished it after after.
Oh, you gave it the Bammer, the Bam Hammer. You get like.
It was a bigger game. It was 10 gigabytes. Maybe that's the one that Alec played. What was
Voidbreaker?
That's what it was.
Voidbreaker.
I also played Voidbreaker, but I feel like I've played games like Voidbreaker before.
Yeah.
So.
What is Voidbreaker?
So Voidbreaker is a first-person shooter.
Okay.
You are a part of a simulation.
Love the Matrix situation.
You're contracted to do 9 bajillion hours of simulation to
unlimited.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, is this like a prisoner scenario?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
you must comply and obey. So maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you going through, you get a gravity manipulation as a part of the tutorial, so you can pick up items and throw them at enemies to stun them, which will drop ammo and health. And you get grenades that you can destroy the environment with to also stun the enemies to drop ammo and health. And after each area, you pick up randomized bonus to your gun.
Okay.
And
Yes.
the very first one they do it with the tutorial is it's a bunch of whatever upgrades, and then it's a malware upgrade that hey, there's somebody else in here, this is all a scam, he's never going to let you go, you know that, right? And so you're following that as you go through these runs.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it is very much like a by the book shooter. You're just kind of going and running and gunning with a conversation about slavery and the Matrix, and you are doing a job based on whatever these anonymous robots are saying. Cake is a lie. Yeah.
Cake is a lie, yeah.
Well, I don't know about slavery, but everything else it seems to ring true. It's kind of like, yeah, your gun starts talking to you, and it's like, hey, if you want to get out of here, I'll help you out. I think I like prison as more of the like what it is. Let's not go too far into it though.
Okay. I could do that. I could be on board for that.
But yeah,
But
after it kicks you out of the simulation, the first simulation, you get like this real cool house that you're staying at, and it's like a tower, and it overlooks the whole area that you're surveying that you have to go in and fix. But the neat part was that the gun's like, hey, come and find me. And I'm like going over to the elevator. I'm trying to use the elevator. I go over to the couch, and eventually I'm like, oh, there's a hole in the ground over here. You jump into the hole in the ground, you climb under a bunch of wires and stuff, and eventually you get to just like a skeleton, and it's got some metal, like a circuit coming out of its head. You pick that up, and you have like this crazy flashback. And that's where like a cutscene, kind of cool, like, oh, I did this an unlimited amount of times, trying always to find my way out, but I couldn't do it before I died.
Okay.
And then it's like, all right, now go try and get out. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like the hook more than
The gameplay?
it's not that I don't like the gameplay. Listen,
Is it rote?
it's the fact that I know what I am getting into with a game like this. You aren't going to be able to do it on the first couple of tries. You're really going to have to try different routes. You're going to have to try different upgrades. You're going to need to collect resources so that you can purchase more upgrades so that eventually
run.
you'll be able to make it through a run successfully. And as a demo, I feel like if I'm going to invest that much time in it, I would just wait and get the game.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it. It, again, very, very comprehensive shooter. Alex said you have gravity manipulation. The upgrades, they feel impactful at times, but still, you're going to have to go through it a couple of times. Do your or pay your taxes before you're really able to make an impact.
Don't nobody want to
That
mess
makes
around with taxes.
No.
It is tax season.
If it's tax season, you're late.
Yes. It's
Yeah, I
tariff
guess-
season now, Alex.
Oh, tariff season.
It's even worse than you can possibly imagine. It's all we talk about all day.
Yeah, your company's that'd be the worst. Alec, was that the one you played?
That and Metal Eden.
Oh, you went shooter heavy, eh?
I did, and I was just like, oh, these games look cool, and then I started playing, and I'm like, wow, I picked the wrong games.
Yeah.
I am not
What did-
good at shooters.
What is Metal Eden?
So Metal Eden is kind of a run and gun style shooter. You've got sliding, you've got wall running. You have this. You're looking for a hyper unit to re-enable your Core Ripper as the game starts, where
Love
you
the
I
word
don't know
core ripper.
what you just said to me.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
said a
I feel
lot of words that
deeply
I was like,
offended.
like one of the things I was like, man, the word core ripper kind of rules. I have no idea what any of this means. You had said a couple other things that I was trying to understand, but they all sounded metal as hell.
Yeah,
Continue.
so it's a pretty metal game. You have a melee option, of course, but it's got a cooldown, and your Core Ripper instantly kills an enemy and rips out their core,
Cool.
but it's on a cooldown as well. You can
As you do.
either consume the core to do a super punch to destroy.
So you rip out their heart, their metal hearts, you eat it, and then you super punch them.
Yes. Or
That's metal as
you
hell.
can throw the core as an explosive.
So you throw their beating hearts at them and it explodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Also metal as hell.
You played this?
I did.
How well?
Not great.
Okay.
I got to the first. I played for about 20 minutes. I got to and repeatedly died on the first real. Hey, we're gonna send a couple of waves of enemies at you, wave after wave after wave. Good luck.
Were you walking backwards? Were you doing the kite
Sometimes.
moves? Were you doing the kiting?
They were coming at you from all angles. You could only kite so much.
Yeah, you got to go backwards and like circle strafe.
Yes.
Okay.
But you've got to use, so the melee causes enemies to drop health. The
Yep.
chances of it depend upon how low your health currently is.
Uh-huh.
And you're on that cooldown, so if you miss, oh well.
Now, Alec, how much Doom 2016 have you played?
None.
Okay. This is kind of it's a combat puzzle. Is that it was like if you shoot, and then if you do executions you get health, but then if you melee kill them you get shield, and then if you did something else you would get ammo. So the idea was to constantly be doing these special abilities to fill up your ammo, fill up your shield, fill up your health based on what you were doing.
Okay.
So it sounds like that's kind of what this one is doing.
Yeah, it definitely has some similarities to that.
Okay. And how was the soundtrack?
Soundtrack was pretty bumping. I definitely enjoyed it.
Okay, a lot of double kick drums and screaming, or what are we doing?
It was it was
I don't think he
thumping
wanted
in
you
the
to ask this
background.
question.
No, I didn't. It was just thumping in the background, and there was a voice that was talking to you as well. So it was kind of hard to focus on it, but I was bopping to it.
Okay. I'm checking out some of this footage. It looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why I was
just
like,
not good
you
at
played
it.
this?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I do feel like there should be a little bit more emphasis on the soundtrack. It does do a little bit of like the techno metal.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Yeah, okay. I like this. I think that it looks really cool. It does have like, again, a Doom 2016 look to it, including when you kill them, it does a slow-mo
It
of their death.
sometimes does. I didn't get too many of those. What there was
It's when you finish the wave,
Oh, okay.
it looks like.
Yeah, I didn't finish the wave. I died.
Oh,
I
wow.
died horribly.
You get some customization here. You get some good movement. Wow. This just looks good. Yeah, this is just a real cool looking game.
It felt very fluid,
Yeah.
and you can
You might like Doom 2016.
Okay.
You might like it.
you can pick up other guns and stuff. It was pretty good.
Was there an upgrade situation?
Not that I encountered.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, because that's a big part of
Yeah.
Doom.
I feel like we could probably get that. I feel like this is just like the initial. There's even grapple hooks. Ooh, love me a good grapple hook.
I mean, when I was looking at the trailer for it, I felt like Shadow Warrior 3, which is something that I played
Yeah.
like a while ago, like 3 years ago.
For the show.
It feels like it's more akin to that, but less. This is more sci-fi than Shadow
Yeah.
Warrior, but that had wall running. It had like waves of monsters. You would just like jump into a kill room, and then you would all like fly through all of your weapons, sometimes using melees, all that stuff. Yeah. So very very similar
Ripped out
to
that
things that
robot's
we've seen.
heart and used it as a grenade. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that I did that in Shadow Warrior as well. There were some enemies that if you did, yes, you know what it was? If you did an execution kill, then it would give you a boost, and sometimes it'd be like you'd ripped out a guy's heart and it'd become a grenade, or you would steal the weapon from them and it would do something insane. This is stuff that I've seen before.
Yeah.
I've lived this life.
Alec, there is like a general universal language to these games now, and it's kind of slowly become more of like this.
Oh, okay.
Like this seems really good and on par with some of those. So things like a Shadow Warrior, or even just like, what was that game, the ninja game we played, the one like both the sequels of, like we played it a little bit on Extra Life.
We don't talk about it, Alex.
But you know what I mean? Like this kind of looks like with like the poor
yeah,
Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner.
Yeah. We don't talk about it though.
I like it though. I like this. This is really good. I think that you picked a good one on this one, Alec. I know it wasn't your forte, but
No, but I enjoyed it. I can
I
be
didn't even
bad
play the demo,
still
and it's now
enjoy.
on my wish list.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this is, yeah, as Getty alluded to earlier when we were talking about Voidbreaker, this one was also a like 13 gig demo. What is going on? Why are demos so big?
I think you just picked wrong.
Because
HR was not very big. It
Okay.
was like 400 megabytes.
See, that's kind of like what I expect.
But also that game wasn't very graphically intense. And
Yeah.
the other two that you played were very graphically intense.
These are very graphically intense.
So intense.
Yeah.
So
like
intense.
Yeah. You see, Alec, you've sold me on this game.
Good.
Even it's funny enough, you're like, I don't know if this game's for me. And I look at it, I'm like, this game's for me.
And that's okay.
I'm the target audience.
Yeah, I am not, but I enjoyed my brief time with it. I just can see me getting frustrated and being like, nope, I'm not playing this anymore.
That's fine. Shooters don't have to be for you.
Yep.
Cool.
Those are games we played.
Yeah.
For sure.
That feels like an episode, Getty.
I think it is an episode. I know that we will jump into one last thing, and I know that it's probably a couple weeks before we do get to talk about it on air, but I just want to say the hype for Until Dawn, the movie, it's real.
Oh, absolutely. I am ready. My body is ready.
I'm excited for it. So I'm hoping that we get to circle back. It should be in about 2 weeks, right? That we'll be able to talk about it. That's on time for our next episode.
Hell yeah, it is.
All right. That'll take us over to our final segment of the night, One Last Thing. And this week's One Last Thing is brought to you by, I don't know, people rolling their competitive decks in casual. What's up with that, Alec?
Oh, well, that's a
I
whole
just wanna
different
test-
tirade.
I just want to test some decks. I just want to see how cards work together. And instead, I got to play against a 3-turn kill deck. You know what? Whatever.
You guys should record a Magic the Gathering podcast.
No, we're going to do, we're streaming next week, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I've got to do a
I'll be
couple more drafts to get ready for it.
I'm going to just build some terrible decks.
Excellent.
We'll come back to that. All right, one last thing. My one last thing. I think I am exactly a week away from Expedition 33. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped. I cannot wait.
Yeah,
If you
looks
if
good.
you don't know what it's about, then
I'm hyped for you.
Ben Starr, like a mother.
is he in it?
Yeah,
Nice.
he's very excited for that.
Yeah, exactly a week away.
I am very excited for all
You
of
got to
the
finish that. You got to
shenanigans.
finish that Tales of Arise first.
I can never finish it.
It's
I
a
have a
long game.
week. I have a
It's a lo-
week, and I'm still at 50%.
It's a long game.
I played Sekiro and like 4 other games, and
Yeah,
I
you did.
still haven't made any progress. All right, Alex.
I'm gonna like as soon as this episode's over, I'm gonna go try to beat Sekiro. I'm like right at the end. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I just want that game to be done.
You should stream that.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Yeah.
Alec.
I could go on a tirade about drafting and waiting for people, but I won't. Instead, I'm going to go figure out what GameCube games I want to put on my Steam Deck.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, it is.
Good question. I don't know GameCube. I've never played one.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
A very heavy blind spot.
You want to borrow my GameCube?
You have one, and does it work?
of course
Yes.
it works.
Yes, and I think I
Yes.
have like 3 games for it. I might have a couple more. They're hidden around the house. I can't keep them all in the same space.
Otherwise, they form a nexus of awesome.
Need to
I don't
avoid
know if
that.
that's how that works.
I think I have like Skies of Arcadia. I
Ooh.
know I have Eternal Darkness. And then
Excellent.
probably Smash.
As you do.
I think that those are the 3 that I kept. But again, I'd have to find them. Secret games. All right. That'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Blue Sky at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where we be streaming stuff. Thursdays, every other Thursday, we'll have a podcast for you. Yeah.
How
we
that
might
works?
have some Magic the Gathering. We might have some Joel playing Sekiro. Alex has to hop back on his Monster Hunter wagon. I mean, we got some ideas.
Yeah. We got
Are we
some
gonna
games
stream
happening.
it? I don't know. Did that do it? Did that hit all of the categories?
Yep, that's exactly what we needed.
All right. Give them just enough information without telling them what's happening.
Yep.
Got it. I'm going to function like that from now on. All right. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Please also check out our Patreon, where you can get monthly pictures of our dogs, get your name read off as an executive producer, free copies of Early Adopters. If any of these things is appealing to you, please check it out. I guess you can also play games with us.
Yeah.
What games? I don't know.
Dealer's choice.
Alex will Sherpa you through Sekiro. How about that?
Probably could. But also, I would say that let them pick.
Alex gets to pick.
Alex is going to work like him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
definitely would. Though House Flipper 2 is giving me motion sickness, so we'll see.
Stop playing it on VR.
Good call.
No, more VR. We've got like 15 VR games to review. All right. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
GG Getty.
Good game, Alec.
Good game.
And good game, Joel, wherever you are. Good game, Gaddy. Yeah, we did it.